Yes, whatever you saw on the thumbnail, that's true. Once upon a time, we were going to get a Zelda movie, and no, this isn't just a rumor like the Legend of Zelda Netflix series that started a few years back. No, this is real, and here's the footage to prove it. Now, your first thought might be, the art style of this looks oddly familiar. Well, that's because the team behind this was Imagine Studios, the same team who made TMNT and Astro Boy movies. And don't feel bad if you don't know who they are. They made very few movies before shutting down in 2010 due to funding issues. That being said, before the funding issues started, Imagine Studios had sent this pitch trailer to Nintendo in hopes that they would allow them to produce this Zelda movie. And as you can see, Nintendo wasn't too fond of the idea. There are a few reasons for why this could have happened. From Imagine Studios being a small and not very well-known studio, to their movies not performing well, or it just could have been that Nintendo wasn't interested in making movies at the time. Whatever the case, the movie was never made. But the pitch does show some interesting things to note. For starters, the monsters attacking Zelda look like a cross between the monsters in Twilight Princess and Ganon. This could potentially mean that the movie would have a lot of elements from Twilight Princess in it, which would make sense as Twilight Princess was the most recent Zelda game at that time, and it wouldn't be till a year after that the company shut down that Skyward Sword was released. Another thing to note is that while obvious, this pitch has no real story to it, and you can kind of see what direction they were going to take the story in based off some key details. From what I can piece together, the story would have been your usual Zelda fare. Link goes on an adventure across Hyrule to obtain the Master Sword, and Zelda would be on her own adventure, protecting some sacred artifact from Ganon and trying to deliver it to some mystical place. The movie would simultaneously focus on both of their adventures, with Link traveling to Death Mountain and Gerudo Village, coming across all sorts of wacky characters, while Zelda and her soldiers would travel across the Dark Valleys, getting attacked by Ganon's minions, and narrowly escaping. That's about all I can gather from this, but it seems like a decent setup for a Zelda movie. And the final thing I want to note are the characters' designs. I'm not a big fan of the art style, but I do think that Zelda and Link do have some good designs. That's mostly due to them being more iconic designs, wherever you think of Zelda, but they don't look half bad in this art style. I also love the designs for the monsters. I really do. I love the designs of Twilight Princess, so incorporating some of those design choices into the pitch just does it for me. But one of the designs I just hate is Ganondorf. Everything about him is just so lazy and generic. His armor, his hair, his face, nothing about him feels unique. Every Ganondorf design has a unique edge to it, and right now he just looks like an anime boy. Whether it's the armor, the hair, the overall design, there's nothing that makes this Ganondorf stand out. You could tell me that this was Prince Charming and I would accept that. And I know it's a bit much to rip on a movie pitch, but look at how much effort they put into Link and Zelda's designs. You'd think that they would give the main villain the same treatment, but I digress. Overall, I think the movie pitch was okay, but knowing the company behind the pitch, I think the movie would have turned out pretty bad. That being said, what I find really interesting about this pitch isn't the pitch itself, but thinking about what could have happened if Nintendo let them make the Zelda movie. This movie could have possibly pulled them out of their financial troubles, and the earnings from the movie could have helped them finish their other canceled projects. Not to mention, this animation team would have been known as the guys who made the Zelda movie, and if that turned out to be a huge success, then just imagine who all would be coming to them for movie adaptations. They would be the original Illumination, starting from nothing and coming out as one of the most recognizable names in modern animation. But sadly, we don't live in that future. No, we live in a future where this exists. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to help support future content on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.